Hi, y'all. So we have got a lot to talk about, and I figured that most people wouldn't read the entire email, so I would come at you in a video instead, and hopefully that'll make sense. Hope you all had an amazing holiday season full of blessings and love and joy and gratitude. We have a revamped schedule for Triumph of Zion. Finishing that out, we will be starting this next time on chapter 9. So let me share the updated schedule. As we're coming back from break, the first week that we're back, we're going to be doing chapter 9. And then the subsequent weeks, we will be splitting chapter 10 into 5 different sections because it's so lengthy and there's lots of like little mini sections in there. But they're absolutely essential to understanding this Zion principle. And so these are updated from what we previously had. Anyway, so there's the updated schedule on Triumph that will lead us into February. And then the results of our poll are in, and it was almost a dead tie between the Book of Nelson and Lectures on Faith. So we're going to do both of them just back to back. We're going to start with the Book of Nelson. So all of President Nelson's General Conference talks from the time that he became prophet up until now, so 2018 to the present. And hopefully this doesn't come as a shameless plug. I'm not selling these for profit, but if anybody would like a copy of the Book of Nelson that we're studying in class, this is the little version of everything since he's become prophet. And then this is the Book of Nelson from the 1968, his very first conference talk, up until 2017. It's massive. It's like a whole ream plus of paper. If you want just this one, it's $15, and that covers the cost of the printing and shipping. I don't make any money off of it. I never will. But if you would like a copy of this, you're more than welcome to contact me and I will get those ordered. But I need to have the orders in like ASAP because I'm placing the order the next Friday. So January, whatever that is, just a second, let me, January the 7th is when I'm placing the order, and they need to be either prepaid or a check on its way because I don't have a lot of money to like float the printing of these. But if you would like that, these are $15. That includes shipping. If you would like the set of both of them, it's $67. So anyway, just email me back and I'll get all of that work out with you if you would like those. But also I have the digital versions that are free for anyone to use. Print out on your own. Let's see, Fifth Nelson is 166 pages front and back. So half that as far as actual number of papers, 166 pages. Anyway, beside the point. So here is the schedule of President Nelson's. All right, so this is going to be going from February, mid-February through April. And what we're going to be doing is studying all of his talks for a given conference each week. So the first week will be all of his talks in the April 2018 General Conference. Week 2 will be all of his talks from October 2018 General Conference, and so forth. And so that's what the homework's going to be, is reading each of his talks. There'll be 3 to 5 talks. When there's 5 talks, it's usually a couple really tiny ones. He usually gives 3 substantial talks at each conference. But anyway, there's just no human way to discuss all 5 of these talks in an hour in our discussion groups. So this is what I'm proposing we start off with. And we'll read all 5 of his talks for this first week, but we will only discuss one of them in each group. So group A will be diving into the ministering and with power and authority of God. Group B, revelation for the church, revelation for our lives. And group C, let us all press on. And when I mean deep dive, it's really looking for chiasmus, literary patterns, footnotes, diagrams, cross-references, etc., really diving in and discussing that in depth. If we get to more talks than that, totally great. But at least we will cover that talk in that group that week. And that way we'll be building up a library of all of these different talks. So if you really wanted to listen on what we were discussing in group B for this specific talk, you'd be able to go back and watch that in any time, whenever you have time to watch all of these. But as far as homework, we would all be studying each and every one of the talks. But as far as our discussion goes, focusing as a priority that one talk, and if we get to the others, that's great. So we will have a skip week, which is the actual general conference, and we will study that conference on April 24th and April 27th here. All right, and then moving into lectures on faith, which is going to be from, what is it? From May through July. Now, this one is super interesting. I've been going to the Lord a lot, asking him questions like, how would you want us to discuss this? How do you want it presented? Because this is some deep information and it's going to require a lot of work. But the answer I keep getting back is follow the curriculum. And so that's kind of how I'm presenting it here. Hopefully it doesn't offend or drive people off, but there is some memorization that is part of the lectures on faith, how the school of the prophet, school of the elders learned it. So I'm going to be highly encouraging memorization, but at the same time, obviously, I can't force, or I would never want to, but there are so many great outcomes out of the school of the prophets. The Lord's highest blessings were poured out upon those who actually did the work to receive. So I highly encourage it, but I know that it's daunting. My mom will be the first to tell you that she is not a memorizer. Neither am I, frankly, but I think that, well, I know that the Lord loves effort, and I think that this will be a transformative book club if we put in a little bit of extra effort than we normally do, and make those 3 months super impactful in our lives. I'm just going to leave it kind of at that, but here's the kind of the two pathways of memorization. If you would like to follow up on this invitation to memorize, so there's 7 lectures on faith, and 3 of them have memorization homework assignments. And if you would like to do those and binge those from May through July, you're more than welcome to, but it's a lot of memorization in a tight amount of time. So I've created a schedule for memorizing that starts January 1st going through July, and it makes it quite a bit easier. You just have to memorize one little phrase a day in order to make it by the time we cover it. So here is the memorization schedule. And like I said, it's just one phrase per day that you would go through and memorize some of the lectures on faith. Lectures 4 through 6 have memorization assignments in them. Section 5 is quite exhaustive. Let's see. Here's lectures on faith, lecture 5, verse 2, and it says just memorize the entire thing, which is massive. It's so huge. So anyway, it's quite daunting, but I don't believe that word for word is like the ticket into heaven, right? But I think as we ponder and internalize these concepts that are being asked to memorize, that we'll be able to transform our thinking and our souls in order to align with God. And anyway, I highly encourage the homework assignments that will come with Lectures on Faith. But again, if you want to just do that while we're studying it from May through July, I'll have a different memorization schedule at that time that you can do. As for me, at my house, which is me and my dog, I will be doing this other schedule where it's just one little phrase a day and trying to internalize that and ponder it all day long. I think it'll be a great exercise for us. But again, if you don't want to do it, that's totally fine. Just throw it on the back burner. As for the reading material, I bought this at a DI. It was I find one at DI every time I go. So if you want a good cheap copy, there you go. Also, there is a website that I tend to use when I'm doing the digital version of it, which is lecturesonfaith.com. And so here you have the preface and then the 7 different lectures. And it goes through all of the reading material, and then it goes through the questions and answers, which that's what our group discussions will be. We'll be discussing this just as if we were in a classroom setting in the School of the Elders, reading through these and answering them. So you don't necessarily have to read the questions and answers ahead of time. You can, I mean, you're more than welcome to, but at least the verses each week for that. Let's see. So yeah, there's many different versions out there. You just want to make sure that it's one that has all 7 lectures. And if you want additional commentary, that's fine. But I tend to just read the original material and get my commentary from the Lord, kind of thing. Personal preference, whatever you want to do. I know that there's lots of great LDS authors that have given commentaries on it before as well. So it's kind of an interesting schedule. Here is we're going to be spending 4 weeks on the School of the Prophets, and then the remaining weeks on the actual Lectures on Faith, because there's a lot of background with the School of the Prophets and its transition into the School of the Elders that I think is highly important. And so for those background weeks, there's just some kind of random reading material, honestly. But I will send these links out as we get to those. But if you want a sneak peek, if you want to start diving in earlier, some of them are going to kind of seem without context until we actually dive in. And I may add more, I may take away some. There's one link in there that I might take out because it might be kind of controversial. But regardless, there's a lot of interesting reading to help us get some good background on the School of the Prophets. And then when we dive into the Lectures on Faith, it's going to be kind of hard and fast, and it's going to be a great time, honestly. I'm super stoked. I've been looking forward to the Lectures on Faith for a while. I never thought we'd get around to it this quickly. But I think the pattern going from Triumph of Zion to Book of Nelson to Lectures on Faith is a powerhouse combination to lead us into 2022. 2022, I believe, will be highly transformational for each of us individually, as well as us as a study group. I think we are going to be seeing the Lord's hand play out quicker and more powerfully as we proceed in our learning. Anyway, I'm so grateful for each and every one of you. I hope to develop deeper and lasting connections as we proceed throughout this year. I keep an eye on your inbox. I'm going to be doing some different things throughout the year that we'll see how they turn out based on my time and expertise. But anyway, yeah, let's make this year a great study year. If you have any questions, let me know. And if you'd like to order any of the books of Nelson, email me that and I'll get those ordered so that I can get them shipped off to you. But again, if you just want the digital version, I can send that back out and you can download and print it yourself. All right, have a great week, everyone. We'll see ya.